Even if you don't go to church, you need a place of worship. A place reserved for you and the Father only, And I used to love going to church as a child, as a teenager as well, but then it was more about the girls. It was always great when you heard a new family move to town, and they have 2 daughters. Who's going to get them? As a teenager, But as a child, I loved going to church more than anything. I loved Sabbath more than anything. To sing and to be in the children's Sabbath school, They were like, you could color in pictures and they told beautiful. I love every single story in the Bible. I love the Bible stories and singing. And I don't go to church anymore. I haven't been going to church for many, many years since I was around. It's like 23, 24 years, I haven't gone to church. But I have my own place of worship, one you see on the picture. That is where I meet with the Father, where 1 or 2 are gathered. So my church has space for 2 only. Me and my daddy. I sit on his crown. It was handmade in India. It's like a crown. It's beautiful. There's space for me to sit and to spread out my Bible next to me. And the table is for when I work on my laptop. And this is where I worship. This is my place. This is me and my daddy's place. It's our room outside. On the left there's a very small piece of grass, like 30 or 40 square meters. And walls going up in all directions, 3, 4, 5 stories. So in order to see the sky, I have to walk out and look up, because these are walls going up all the way around. But it doesn't bother me. Because when I'm here, my mind is filled with great and wonderful things, You need a place to worship. You need a special place where you can, pull back to and be alone. Alone is a beautiful word. It comes from alon. It's a Hebrew word, and it means oak, an oak tree. An oak tree needs space to grow. An oak tree needs deep ground, An oak tree doesn't grow from the trees around him. He grows from what he finds way down in the deep depths of the earth, What they search for, the eternal waters of life. That's where the word alone comes from. Being alone is not being lonely. I love being alone. You can ask my wife and child, I love being out here alone. And I'm always ready. If they need me, I'm there, Daddy, I'm there. But you need a place of work. Build your own church. This is my church. This is my place of worship, of quiet worship, familiar surroundings. When I look out, I have a few small trees here. We're in the first floor, so the earth that I have here in the little garden is only like 30 centimeters deep. Downstairs there's the shop, but I plant trees in it and they grow. Looks beautiful in summer, little green paradise. between all the concrete walls going up 5 stories in all direction. Yes. Find a place that belongs to you and the Father only, and spend as much time there as you possibly can. Yes, so while others are worried if the car's clean, they have their best clothes on, their makeup sits well, their tie fits, they have their Bibles with them, their songbooks. If they don't misunderstand me, I love children's church. You can even be naughty. In a sermon, that was my time to sleep at church. There was a very old lady. She used to love me, and she used to love it when I sang. And I would sit next to her, and every Sabbath she would bring me chocolate, ice cream cakes. It's like a box with cakes in it, and with ice cream figures on the cakes. And during the sermon I would eat these guys, and when I'm done with that, I would move onto her shoulder and sleep through the sermon. Yes. So while others have all these things going, oh, look at her hair today, oh, that dress is so short, does she have to wear such high heels when she comes to church, look at that guy's car, he has no respect, he couldn't even clean it for Sabbath, or forgive me guys, having fun. It's really the way it is. It's really the way it is. When you go to church, your mind is filled with the people around you. Your mind is taken up by your eyes when you go to church. So while others have all these things going on in their mind, I sit here in deep meditation in my church. I sit in underpants, I have a blanket around me, my feet are covered under a blanket, I got a cup of coffee here, and the cats are running through the garden, It's all familiar surroundings, and I don't have to concentrate on what I look like or who I am, but I can give my mind completely to God so He can teach me who He is. That's why we have the Bible. That's why we have the Word of God to tell us who He is, not what we have to wear. Actually, when we go to church, we should wear our poorest clothes, our ugliest shoes, unwashed, hair dirty, no makeup. That is the way we should go to church, because that is who we really are. We are not worthy. We get dressed and put our best suits on and drive with our best cars to church, to somehow feel worthy. He is worthy. He is worthy. Change your congregation. Reduce your congregation to 1. Reduce it to 1. It's fantastic. I'm in church 2-3 hours a day. On the weekends, 5 to 7 hours a day. I'm out here in church. Wonderful. It's wonderful.